Good afternoon and hello to everyone. I hope everyone is enjoying a happy morning, evening, or night. And we are just gonna get started. So, hello everyone. Yeah, it is 8:30 here, so it is about to begin. Yeah,
That's good, Murillo. Very good. You were not hearing me, but now you are hearing me. Thank you for the feedback. Uh, so it's nice because I still have my mic muted, so you didn't listen to my initial words. Um, again, good wherever you are in the night, afternoon, midday, morning, and so on. So I was asking you, Murillo, recently, what time is it here in Brazil, your zone? We have to wait for the streaming, for the ping back and go of the streaming for them to listen the question. Okay. Anyway, let's go start to finish as soon as possible. It's Saturday, so let's go. Let me go for the um, slide screen. I think those are good, and let's gonna start. And please give us feedback. 12 p.m. Thank you. Give us feedback on the YouTube channel if the sound is right, both for Josh and me, okay? We are going to share a few slides with you, and later we'll have the questions. Okay, here are the slides. So today's event is about the most common questions you are sending to us, the usual typical questions after the announcements. I say 3, but I'm sure there will be more. So let's start with this presentation. The agenda is why I've been not selected. Special question. What can I do to continue my collaboration and improve for next year? And what are the next steps for selected contributors? If there is any other question regarding this or whatever, you can use Discord better than the YouTube channel, and Josh will be reading the questions and we will be answering as much as we can at the end of the presentation. So thank you, Josh, for helping us today. Let's go. First, congratulations to the ones chosen. And here you can see we have logos. If we don't have a logo, it's not a real project. So the first thing always we have is a logo. So after we know finally what projects were chosen, our colleague Sandra from the Liquid Galaxy Lab in Lleida designed some logos, and every contributor will have access to these logos just for using it on their applications. So congratulations to the persons that have been chosen, and of course, let's gonna comment about the ones not chosen. Uh, Things on selection. We are using some phrases you have sent us through email. I'm not gonna name the persons, okay? But I think those questions, those phrases are right for today's presentation. So I applied with great hope and determination my GSoC proposal, but unfortunately it was rejected. So it will be highly helpful for me if you could spot any mistakes and correct my proposal, so I could have better chance of selection next time. Good. So again, special thanks to all of you that have worked hard on the proof of knowledge tasks and also on the making of the proposal. But as we are going to see in a few minutes, not everyone can be selected for many reasons. Here are a few of them. So as we've been talking many times on these streamings, the selection process is something complex because there are too many points involved. Interactions between the possible contributors and the mentors team. Earliness, being early always is very important. If you just arrive a few days before the window closes for presenting the proposals and you make a great work, it will be impossible for anyone to check and to correct your proposal. I mean, it's better always to start early. Collaboration. Some of you have been more aware of collaborating with the community, helping others and doing stuff without being required. And of course, crafting the proposal. So there are plenty of more points that we've been talking about on the past streamings. Also, another thing that happens this year, and those quotes words are from Google, not from us, we received a record number of contributors or requests this year from 168 organizations, 30% more requests than we could fund for 2023. So most of the organizations didn't receive all of their requests. What means that all the organizations at some point request to Google the number of slots we think we can handle, and also, of course, we have good proposals for. But this year, as you might remember, Liquid Galaxy organization, Liquid Galaxy project organization has received more proposals than other years, and it's not at 30%; it's more. And in general, at least all the organizations have received 30% more. So Google has been overflowed with too many requests. So what I can say is that we can be happy because we request for more slots. We request 18 slots. Think about that. We have last year 10, and this year we ask for 18 because more people, more possible contributors do a very good proposal work. But Google cannot allocate all of these slots to us because they cannot allocate because they have a budget and they have to. But we can be happy because as far as I know, several of organizations that has been also for a long time on the GSoC and has large experience has received even less slots than us. I mean, if they requested, I don't know, 10, they received half. So we can be happy having the 11 final slots we have received. So to finish that section, and at the end, I said, we can answer your questions. The point is that we cannot answer every person that sends us an email specifying why I have failed. Well, none of you, I will say, have failed. Plenty of you have done a lot of work, but at some point we have to balance what people are the ones that have been more interacting and all the things, and present to Google, and then Google makes the final selection, not us. So the works are always the same: work, and work. Hard work. If you want to get an internship, you have to hard work. It's something like if you want to achieve a job in a company or whatever. I mean, it's a question of working. So this is for the selection process that has passed. On continuation, here are two sample emails of situations. The first one is curious because this contributor, before he was selected, no, he was not selected, he was starting to develop the project. He made the proposal, the carbon dioxide beaver project. So they are asking us if they can continue working for the project. This is a very curious case. It never happened to us in this way. Sometimes students or contributors have started to work before on their proposals, doing, I will say, parts of the work, but not the 30%. That's a lot. So my answer to this is, of course you can, but we cannot allocate the same resources to you as we have to do with the other selected students. So having a mentor, this will be lots difficult. So you can do that. We will try to help you on achieving that. But anyway, you can do it as an experience, and for sure, for this and for the next question, this will be This will be very important for you if you want to come back on next year for GSoC, and not come back only. Remember that the point is not only coming back. The point is staying with us all year long. This is what Google wants doing GSoC. Second question is second email was something like, I would like to express my interest in continuing with Liquid Galaxy as I prepare for next year. I look forward to your response. Thank you very much. This is a question. This is an email I received many. So the point is that I already expressed that. We have a list. At this moment, there are 4 persons, I think, 4 or 5 persons. There is a list of contributors that have been not selected that want to continue collaborating with us in a clear way. So just send us an email saying, okay, I want to continue. We have a list of people that want to do this, and we have some tasks for them. Let me show you information. So for one point, the Discord community, of course, will be open. We are not going to close Discord, so most of the open conversations will be still on Discord, and you will be able to know about this, and we can interact on the Discord. So also the Liquid Galaxy stream is like this one. Maybe it's the 7th we do this year, and we haven't started. We'll continue. We will have more specialists coming. We will have the demos from the different projects. We have project reviews. We will have plenty. So Liquid Galaxy streamings will be announced in the same way as today's event. You just have to go to the Google Events platform, register there, and you will have access to the YouTube, and it's the same way as the other one. So this is, if you want to stay with us and stay informed, it's the best way. And as I was saying, that we have that list for the contributors. Ping us, email with your interest, and then most of the tasks we will allocate to that person will be testing and documenting. That means that for the other 11 students, 11 contributors, we will have this early code testing for the Android-based applications. So the thing that is, those guys that want to contribute with us will have access to the APKs, to the preliminary code, and just you can be a part of the team that will be reviewing these applications and giving us your opinion, and we will give this opinion to the students. I think it's a very important task, and also very rewarding for yourself, because you will have an experience that is not easily achieved. So if you do this task or others this year for us, of course, if you come back next year for GSoC, you will have plenty of more opportunities than other people to enter to the contest. Okay, let's go to the another slide, and at the end we will answer your questions. So that's your slide, Shash. Go ahead.
So I just want to brief you with this meet. So this is more about the people who are like bit disheartened because they didn't get selected. But I would say that you have already earned a lot, because you got to interact, you got to communicate, you got to collaborate. I think that even if you attended each of the meetings or any of them, you have got something from it. So it is not about that you didn't get selected or you didn't pass the threshold. It is more about that you have learned something out of it, because in the end success is just a collection of failures, and in reality it could be that you try and try and try and try, and you just keep trying, you just keep giving your 100% each and every day, but it could be that success isn't just coming to you, and you should not be disheartened. It is more like how many times you fall down does not matter as long as you get up. So with this, I just want to say that this is just the beginning, even if you are not selected. So with this brief, I would like to say that I have done several interviews and I gave many reviews to many of you. I got to interact with many of the, I would say, a lot of talent I have seen in a lot of contributors. And I would like to bring my expertise to what's the takeaway for everyone. So because the competition was very solid, and we have seen it from the very beginning, there were a lot of early contributors, there were a lot of people who were engaged in documentation, there are a lot of people who were engaged in publishing the apps and other things. So I think that what made others stand out or others unique was just their app demos or interviews were slightly better, or they have been contributing from a little bit early, or they were a past contributor, stuff like that. So if right now, what I will suggest is, I want that you seek knowledge, I want that you understand that what you have done, and you take that up. You can contribute because we are open source, you can still contribute to us. And I would say that you fetch like what was missing in you, if it was a bit of interview stuff, or it was your app demo, stuff like that. So each and every one of you would have a different gain from it, but more or less it is the same thing, that you should not, I would say, be discouraged or disheartened just because of this one thing. I want you to know that you have done very good. I want you to pat on your shoulders, I want you to get back up. And you should understand that there were a bit of thing that we had only 11 slots. I would not, I would say, not eliminate this factor because of the 30% proposal increase. We didn't get I would say, there was a constraint on Google as well. And I would say that make a strategy to be, I would say, context specific from next time onwards. Select a project that is highly prioritized. Make a presentation, maybe showcase your work, showcase that what you have done, make us understand that you are doing it very well, and you are like the best fitting person for this project, and this is our best fitting project, stuff like that. So I would say that don't lose hope, and you should keep coding. And it could be that you have done everything perfectly, but still things can go wrong, because in the end this is life, and stuff like this could happen. So just keep coding and don't lose hope. And I would say that in success in general could be that it could be your next door, that success is just waiting for you, or it could be that someone is trying for years and years in general. So you just don't have to lose hope, because one day success will knock your doors. And I would want to see each and every one of you to have that fire in you. I want you to have that energy channel towards you. So I want that next year each and every one of you could collaborate and stay open source and don't be disheartened. So yeah, that's all that I have got to say. And this was a slide for a new hope.
Okay, thank you, Yash, for your consideration. And let's go for the last slide for today. That's next step for selected contributors. Here we have another sample email. I am thrilled to have been accepted. Really very nice words as usual. Looking for meeting with my mentors. Excited to collaborate with us. This is good. Maybe this has been generated by ChatGPT. Plenty of emails have similar words. So thank you for saying it's a fantastic opportunity. I think that you, Yash, personally can comment on this. It was for you an opportunity to, and just if you want to comment with us, to share with us, I think you're gonna start a job in no time.
Yeah.
If you want to make it public, it's not a must.
Yeah. So with the job thing, I would say that if you are, I would say, collaborating, making your skill set, and ultimately, like I particularly am starting a new stage in my life. I will get a job just after I will complete my final semester. And I would say that there have been things, success, failures, all sort of things that have been happening. And I'm really happy that journey has led me to this way.
Good. I will say also, but I will not say names, that you are going to work with a person next to the organization, a person that has been with us for several years. Okay, let's see what are those next steps. You already have to know this because I have sent this in an email to all of you. So the point is that your My Mentor, remember, all the students have to have at least one mentor tied to them. And also we have, for every project, we have several co-mentors. I mean, but the My Mentor is your mentor, the real one. The other mentors are there just for helping, just for giving their opinion, maybe just because they are specialists in some area, for example, cloud or Flutter or whatever. But you and your My Mentor are the persons that have to work for the proposal to arrive to a good place. So this mentor will be contacting you any moment now. Maybe you have already been contacted with him or her, because we have happily we have 5 women too in the mentor 23 persons team. We have selected 2 girls from the 11 persons for making the proposal for the projects. So in the next weeks, you will be having at least a couple of meets with your mentor, and the purpose of this mentor is, as you know, is to review everything it was in the proposal, adjust the timeline with the project goals, just because on the May 29th is just around the corner, you can start to work with your projects. Remember, projects are large, 350 hours or half 150 hours. So you have to allocate, is Google's law, 7 or 3.5 hours every day for develop the project during the period that starts in May 29 and it ends at the last week of August. Okay, so meet start on 29, and also just when you start to code in the 29th of May, you and your mentor will arrange a weekly meet, not a couple of meets just to review, but a weekly meet. The main communication and reviewing way will be at the weekly meet with your mentor. So it's always on the hand of your mentor to arrange this with the student, the contributor, but you will have usually the same day, same hour on the week to make the review of the work the student does every day. Also remember, we will have other methods of controlling you. We already have been talking about this, but we will be reviewing this just before the coding starts on the 29th. We'll have a similar meet like this one. This is a streaming, this is not a meet. We are only just on meet here. The next one, we will be all the collaborators, all the contributors on the meet, and we will be talking among us about what are the final tasks they have to develop, something like uploading continuously to GitHub, having code ready to review since the second week of development, and so on. So what else we have here? Yes, this is the nice one. Here we have an Einstein photo. So the point is that please, all the contributors, selected contributors, send us a photo, a portrait photo, something like this with your face, because we every year we make a flyer, a sign with all the faces of the people on the team. At this time you have seen the faces of the mentors, the 23 persons that are mentored, but now there will be the face of all the contributors. Let me see. I'm talking about this oops, I can see it now. 1 second, right? Just 1 second. I'm showing up this thing. So a picture like this one you have seen on the Liquid Galaxy Communications of all the mentors. So we'll have another bigger than this with all the 11 students plus all the mentors. So please send us a portrait photo by email always to keep the resolution, and at some point we will have this flyer with all the people, and also the persons that will be contributing with us for real, the persons that we say before you want to collaborate, and you will be sending an email to us saying, okay, I want to collaborate for real. Then you can also send a picture of you, because we will let you as helping hands. That's a model that we have people that helps to the other staff in the community. So we will give you 2 credit of your work. So you can send us to also your photo. And I think that's it. And now we can have some answer and questions. If any, yes.
Yeah, let me check for questions in the Discord. So anyone who wants to ask any question can place it here on the questions and answers channel of Discord server. Currently, I don't see any, but maybe
Yeah,
someone will write in a bit.
we will wait. Usually people is shy,
Yeah,
and well, this is different now because we have the person selected, and hopefully they have questions.
yeah.
So let's gonna wait for a few seconds. No question from Prague. Okay.
Yeah. I would want you to ask your questions right now because this is the time, because this is your golden opportunity to gain knowledge from us. We are just starting off for the early contributors who have just been selected, and for those who are like leaving us or are not selected and just contributing for the sake of open source, they also should be having some questions like how to do this, how to do that. Or if you are like really like just leaving us, then you should like take, I would say, get a hold of it, get all the knowledge or some practical things that how we would make it work for the next time onwards. Okay, I think there is one question. When will be receiving the logos?
Sorry, I was answering another person. When what?
When will we be receiving the
Ah, okay,
logos?
okay. This is something you will receive with this email I told you that we'll be sending just before you start to code on May 29th. This is something. It's not. I mean, I know you can use it now if you have it, but you don't have to start the work now. You can if you want, but it will be on the email that contributors will be receiving before the coding starts, before the 29th of May. We already have those on a Google Drive, so just you will have access to this Google Drive. But think about that the logos are always a special thing. Maybe just you can share with us your experience from last year.
Yeah.
What do you remember from that stuff of the logos on the Liquid Galaxy?
Yeah, so there is, I would say, the leftmost rig where you have to have all your logos, which could be the logo of your application plus all the sponsored stuff. So for the La Palma volcano tracker, there were a lot of, I would say, the Cumbre Veja and a lot of other institutions or companies that have been on the vertical, I would say, there was a horizontal bar of too many logos, and we have to place it and we have to size it, so it is like it should not be like it is not even visible. It should be you are perfectly placing those logos, and your main app logo is visible more, and the rest of the stuff below it.
And also, you have to use those logos on the application, on the
Definitely.
UX, in the help page, on the documentation, and on the Liquid Galaxy. So you will have not only one logo, but a list of logos that have to be on different rows. And this document will be very specific. What is the first logo, the application's logo? What are the second ones in one size? What are the third ones in another size? So it's
Yeah.
something. It's not difficult. You have seen already many videos of our project, so you have to know what are we talking about. But it's something you will receive before the 29th. So we have other
Definitely.
questions.
Okay, so the next question is, after this year's GSoC, can we continue collaborating with Liquid Galaxy in the future, even if we got selected this year? Definitely. This is like, I would say, I'm the living example right now. I just got selected last year and I was still collaborating even after the selection. There are a lot of things that still happen in this open source organization, and you can still keep collaborating, still keep, I would say, engaging. And this is what is open source is all about. You have to have that enthusiasm in you, and if you have instilled that in you, then nothing can stop you from gaining more and more knowledge.
Of course, I do agree. And always we've been talking about this. Google, with the Google Summer of Code program, does not only wants to give you some money to work for a summer. They want you to start to collaborate with the open source communities. So the point is about you to stay, not to be just to get some money and do some stuff on the summer. No, the point is that to stay. So the answer is right. Sudaño and other persons that can ask about this. So we want you to stay and collaborate in different ways, because remember, there are many ways you can collaborate with the Liquid Galaxy. It's not only a matter of doing code. For example, we are this is a open source community, so nobody is getting paid for real for this. So except the contributors that Google gives the money. So we are lacking always of resources. Also, people comes and leave. So some of the figures that we have to have something like handling the documentation, handling the GitHub, handling other stuff, designing, making graphics, and so on, doing the streamings like we are doing today. We have people that has to collaborate with this and all year long. So we need you. Let's go for the next, Manash.
So please elaborate more on the mentor role and the frequency of meeting, and also how we contributors should maintain our work log. Okay, awesome. So there was a particular slide on work log, and I think I have shown it before. And if you want, I can share it again. So this work logging thing is, you have your Google Sheet and you maintain several columns of work done per day, work done per week, your problems, your blockers, and the possible solution. And after each and every week, the mentor has to just check that what is your work log. If you have it more descriptive, that would be really well and good, because the mentor would be able to understand just by reading that. And finally, he will be able to I would say, write in the possible solution columns that what you could have done or what you can do in the future to I would say, to face this blocker or to eliminate this blocker out of your app, stuff like that.
If you allow me, Josh, I will share your last year work log. Okay.
Okay, surely. And I can just explain it in
I'm gonna show it. It is now. No, sorry, I was wrong. It's now on the screen. So we are seeing on the streaming the your sheet from last year. You have column for date, for work done, for in a day, for work done in a week, blockers and upcoming plan, some other columns, and upcoming plans. So this is you can explain a little bit if you.
Yeah. So you can simply write it in work done per day or work done per week. If you don't want to be too elaborative, like I was too elaborative, because I want to be, I would say, stick on my schedule. So if I have done something or I have written it, this is my work done per day, I will be able to complete it. And if you just want to be, I would say, descriptive week wise, you can just write down all this stuff week wise, and maybe I would say divide it between columns depending on what work is it. So if there is a work to, I would say, change languages and enable 10 languages in the app, and there is another feature to have day and night theme, then separate them and write them down in your work done per week, stuff like that. So there could be a case where and this majorly happens, there could be that your app is not working perfectly. There are some bugs happening in your app and you're not able to fix them. So just write it down. So you can see that there was visualization only happening in Liquid Galaxy 1, and the slaves were not getting your KML files, stuff like that. I received a problem in the starting. So this was eliminated later on, and I came with a possible solution, and I had an upcoming work plan that what will I do in the upcoming week and stuff like that. So you can have it day wise, and if you want to be, I would say, take a rest day. You can see 23rd April is missing there. I had a rest. So it is like you are a bit flexible, but I should say that you should stick on your plans. And that's all that I would say.
Yeah, perfect. So again, in the email you get before the 29th, you have these instructions and a sample sheet. Also, the sheet will be another thing you will do. Remember, will not be on your own Google Drive, but will be on our Liquid Galaxy Lab Drive, just because we want to keep those files for the future. So you will get the sample of the sheet and the instructions about this and other actions, and of course the logos and so on. Next thing from Manash.
So the next question is, sir, apart from the portrait photo, do we need to email anything more for the selected contributors?
Sorry. I think Manash also asked about on the mentor role.
Okay, yeah. So he asked more about the mentor's role and the frequency of meeting. So it could be week-wise meeting. He could establish a 1 hour or a half-hour talk with you, depending week-wise. And if you are in any sort of problem, you can just directly email him, and he will get back to you depending on his free time or his convenience, and he would reply you with the sort of a thing. So I would say the mentor's role is not to teach you coding, because this is not a boot camp. You should know this. Your work is to, I would say, you should be enthusiast, and you should code properly, and you should understand all the, I would say, shenanigans. If you are not able to work on something, understand all the tech stacks that you will be working more on, and the mentor's role is to guide you if you are missing out something. So that's, I would say, more about the mentor's role.
So, and remember, I can add that your mentor, and you have to be the ones that will achieve the right timing for the meetings, because of course you can be in different parts of the world. We try usually to have mentors on all the areas. So mostly I would say South America, for Brazil, Spain, India, and there are a few other people around. For example, I think Mahinor has just from Egypt has just make us a question. She lives in Egypt, so in the middle of India and Spain. So we have plenty of different time zones. I remember one year we have 10 time zones. It's that crazy, 10. So you and your mentor will be the ones choosing the right time for you to have the weekly meeting. And of course, as just said, you can always email your mentor. And remember, mentors are persons that work, have their own work, so they're pretty busy. They will try always to help, but not immediately. Just arrange with that person your schedule for the meets. So Aditya is asking, apart from the portrait photo, do we need to email anything else? And no, the question is no. Just email us to Liquid Galaxy Lab Gmail the photo, and nothing else, because for the selected contributors we don't need anything else. You'll be the ones receiving the email for the 29th of May with other tasks. Thank you, Jos Daño, for the question. And let's read Mahinor question.
Yes. Okay, so he writes that, will we use a project management app such as Trello or Notion, for example, or will be relying on Google Sheet only? So I think he is asking more about the documentation part, because you can use Notion, you can use Trello, or you can rely on Google Sheet. So we are a Google-based company. We are like more, I would say, enthusiasts about using stuff that is made by Google. You can definitely, I would say, use the other application, as long as you can, I would say, use it well, and your mentor is also comfortable in viewing it. So it could be.
Yeah, but let me add another point here. You have said it well. You're going to be receiving money from Google, so please, it's better to stay on the Google ecosystem. And the point is that you all have to work on a Google Sheet. You can do next to this, you can use any other thing, but your workload has to be on a Google Sheet. Why? Because this is the simple thing. Anyone just receiving the link with open for comments or for editing, whatever, can be able to see it. If you use Notion or Trello or whatever, you usually are asking people to install another application. Usually are not web-based, so this is not good. So all the contributors have to work on a workload sheet like the one I have shown before, and I am gonna put you on the screen again for a second. So just applying Google Sheet. But again, if you personally agree with your mentor to use another kind of project management tool, that's good. But the workload has to be on a Google Sheet. Mahinor, for sure, 100. Every contributor has to do this. Just remember, we share this among all the mentors, all the other contributors we have, and also Google will have access to this information. So we cannot make people to install a Notion executable or whatever, or a Trello or whatever, just because you want to do that. No, it's the same that, for example, some students, some contributors use Figma to create their UX. That's fantastic. Figma is a great tool. They are gonna get plenty of money for the tool, maybe, because the buyout is at this moment is stopped, I think, in UK. But the point is that we prefer to use Google applications, so it's better to use other applications that on the Google ecosystem. So you can use Trello or Notion or whatever you want, but your work log has to be daily on a Google Sheet. You and everyone. Okay, Manesh, thank you. And let's wait if there is any other question. Do you have something else to add to this, Yash?
Yeah, I would just add that stick to one standard is better, because if we are viewing for 10, 20 students, if we are seeing that what they have made, so it would be better if everyone is using the same standard, is if there is a uniformity in what we are doing. Likewise, we use GitHub. We don't ask you to be on Bitbucket or something
Yeah,
GitLab or something.
it will be the same that this year we plan for this streamline method of checking the application. Remember, we've been talking about this, but we will talk again before the code starts, that we have to have in the Google Drive link we will send you, the APK or AAB or whatever kind of code you've been developing for Android, ready to be tested. It will be tested by your mentor, by other mentors, by other collaborating contributors. So we have to go for standards. Please do not use Dropbox or whatever name is the system from Microsoft. I didn't remember what is because I do not use it. So we have to be on Google Drive, and you will have a Google Drive to just put there all your files, and this way you do not use your own space on Google Drive, but ours. This way we can keep the files, and also you do not waste your own Google Drive on this task. So let's wait for a second, a few seconds. If there is not any other questions, we will end here, hoping that all the mentors agree as soon as possible with the contributors to have the very special meeting, very initial meeting. Remember, contributors that want to stay with us to send an email to not to me, please remember, not to me, to the Liquid Galaxy Lab Gmail account, that you want to collaborate. Selected contributors have to send the portrait photo. And let's see, Mahinor is writing something.
Meanwhile, I would like to add more on that question about the app logos. So there is a thing that when you are launching your app, so there is a loading screen on the splash screen. For the first 5 seconds, you will, or the 3 seconds, you will have all your logos on that splash screen. The next thing on your UX is that your about screen. You could be having your logos and your app logo on that about screen as well. And there could be some icons in your application everywhere. And in your help tab, you can have the UX for saying that this icon does this or this does that, stuff like that. So these are the sort of icons or the logos and how you'll be placing them in the app. Apart from them, I've already told you that on the leftmost Liquid Galaxy rig, there could be your app logos, which would very well be defining on all the sponsorships and all your app logos, and even the Google Summer of Code logo. So yeah, that's everything elaborated. Okay, thank you, Mahinor.
A few questions are coming, or at least one from Siddhar. So maybe Siddhar has arrived later. So for non-selected, how we can still contribute? Again, you can send us an email saying that you want to be contributing for real with us, and then we have a list of people that will be helping us with the projects this summer. Most of the tasks that they will do will be testing the application, giving us their opinion, and also helping on the documentation of the different projects. So think about that. I will say that our project will be now 100% focused on developing the GSoC project. So this is our main work now. So this can be the way you collaborate. And also, I want to add something, is that, for example, let me add again Josh as a sample. Josh helped a lot the project because he did a fully renewal of the appearance of our website, of the blogger we use since many years ago, and he did a very nice makeup. So you can see, for example, okay, you have failed. Our website has this area is not correct. Maybe we can add here some content. Maybe we can have all the documentation. You can give us ideas, because the community is all of us, not us. We are all a community together. So you can imagine, you can think, like we ask at the very beginning to you to ask to think about projects you can develop. I will say that from the 50 something people that collaborate, that try to go for a GSoC, maybe only 2 or 3 persons presented a new, totally new project. Most of them were projects that we already have created. So you can ideate, create something new, or something we need for the community, something we need for the website, and say, okay, I can do that. It's interesting for the community. Can I help on this? And we will discuss it so fast, and you will be able to collaborate. So, Karini, best regards to you and your colleagues in Brazil. So, Sigtar, you are asking again also the same question. Can we start working on projects that are not selected? Okay, my point of view as administration of the project is you can, of course, but you will not be having the same amount of help that GSoC students, GSoC contributors, because we have to focus 100% on these projects to be developed. So for us, it's best that you help on other projects. If you develop something, great, fantastic, amazing, but we will not be able to help you too much. And for sure, you will be not treated the same way than a GSoC contributor. This is something because we have the resources we have, and we cannot be along those ones. So for us, it's better that if you want to collaborate, just ping us by email and help us on the stuff we have to do. There is plenty of stuff to do. We will be testing every week 11 applications. And testing an application is not something simple. You have to go through all the application, correct, or at least give your idea about how the UX is going, the design, the options, the usability, the real functionality, having a Liquid Galaxy to test it, having a tablet to test it, or a virtual box with a tablet. So it's not something easy. So we need plenty of people to do that, and it's best, Siddharth and others, that you help us on this. But again, if you want to do a project by yourself, you can, of course.
Definitely. So I would also like to add that you won't be getting a mentor, but still you are thinking aloud. You are creating something. It could be your own project. It could be one of the projects not selected. Definitely, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you are having an enthusiasm, and this is open source. So you are free to collaborate, free to contribute. Maybe you are working as an island, but that sort of thing is also okay. You would get help, maybe a little less, but time to time, and maybe you will be able to, I would say, have more opportunities on the upcoming years.
Sorry, just and finish.
Yeah, and I would like that if someone is like having this mindset that he still wants to contribute, then nothing is better than that, because you are having that enthusiasm in you. So yeah, that sort of thing is a new hope, and I would want you to do that.
I was going to add another possible contribution is precisely on the project idea. So think about that. We are gonna start GSoC now, but after we end GSoC this year in 1st of September, we will stay quiet for a few weeks, and in October we will be thinking about what are the new projects we are going to present to Google for next year. So you can start now seeing what are the kind of projects we develop with the Liquid Galaxy. What are the types, the kind of, because you have seen many videos and you will see the projects from this year contributors. And then you can start to think new projects. Imagine, I don't know, Siddharth, maybe you can, I'm already working on an application, something combination of the Connect and gesture controller. I think I should continue it. You can do that, of course. This is open. Remember that there is a student that will be a contributor that will be doing the LG gesture. I don't remember which one was selected, because at least 6 or 7 persons tried to go for this LG gesture project. But my point was that you can start thinking about new projects for next year GSoC. Okay, but for the summer, we prefer to stay focused on the 11 projects we are going to have. So, Siddharth, thank you for your questions. Let's wait for any other question. In the meantime, and as I have Josh here, and I thank always his collaboration, let me remember what happened with your project last year. You, I would say, finish. You did the hard work in the very first month. That was nice, and you thought your project was finished, and it was not.
Yeah.
Share a little bit about this.
Yeah, so definitely I started, I would say, with a bang. I started to have all those features, maybe made a couple of things, did a couple of mistakes too. It didn't have the good typography, and it didn't, I would say, it didn't look so stunning in the beginning. I had some things missing, but I just that I wanted to get it done or something like that. So till the mid evaluation, according to me, it was finished, but there were a sort of lot of feedbacks coming, and I would say as a as a contributor, you all should also be open to all these opinions and feedbacks. So I mustered up courage that I haven't have it finished. There are some calendar widgets, there are some sort of animations that are not happening correctly, and I began to fix it. So the, I would say, a developer usually doesn't enjoy bug fixing, but you should. And finally, I would say I made it well and good, and before the previous, I would say, 2 weeks or 1 weeks were left, and I was able to publish it in the, I would say, in the last period of time, and I would say that it all went good. So I had a lot of good experience from this. I had a lot of good experience that it isn't over until it's over. So yeah, that's all.
So I will add a few things is that happens to all the projects. First thing is that
Mm.
you think that your project is working, and then we come back and say your project is not working. Why? Because one thing is to having this running on your virtual machines, another thing is running on a real Liquid Galaxy. Usually things about networking and so on is the things that they fail. And then also about the user interface. Of course, being a good developer and also a good UX expert is not easy. So usually you will have, I would say, a mix of good expertise on the UX, but usually this is not going to happen. So we will get you back plenty of times saying that this is not well located. Think about the UX, use other kind of templates or look for new widgets or whatever, because this is not looking good. That your project last year, I remember at some point it was not so nice, but suddenly you add a layer of new design, and it becomes,
Yeah,
it changes suddenly, and it becomes a great UX.
definitely.
No problem, Siddhar, thank you. Okay, so I think we are an hour now. That's enough if there is not any other question. So guys, again, thank you for coming, thank you for listening. Congratulations to the one chosen. Please, the ones not chosen, think about this is hard for all. We have received many proposals this year. Google is also overflowed with this. But as Jas was saying, this is something you can. It's life. I mean, it's normal. So continue your work, and next year maybe you have more opportunities. For this, if you want to stay contributing with us, send us email saying that. You send us also a portrait photo of you as helping hands collaborator. All the selected contributors send us a photo by the Liquid Galaxy Gmail. And wait for the 29th last email before you start to work. And of course, have the meets with your mentor and your other co-mentors before the 29th arrives, just for having everything ready for the day to start to code. So Siddhar is reading something. We will wait for a few seconds, and if there is not any other question, Josh, do you have something to add?
Yeah, I don't think I have anything to add. Just waiting for a couple of questions. If there is none, then I would wish the best of luck for those who are, I would say, selected. This is a new journey for them. And also, best of luck for those who are not selected. They have achieved something very great. They have learned something. And I want them to, I would say, keep up the hopes and just keep going and just commit.
Yeah. On the screen is the last slide with the next steps for the selected again. And no other questions. So we are an hour on this. So thank you very much, Ash, for your help. Bye bye, people. email us, use Discord, and see you. Bye. Or Karine will say bye.